So basically, what the NAR settlement did was to give people more access to information and more clarity about what the real estate industry pertaining to real estate professionals is. People stopped believing that they had the only option and obligation when they were going to sell their properties of hiring a traditional agent and paying them 6%. And believe it or not, after all of that, people still believes that. People still, thinks that they have the obligation to pay the commission, and they actually, some people, and I see it all the time, they want to go ahead and say, okay, I want to offer this compensation to the buyer's agent, and we tell them you can't, you literally can't. But it opens the opportunity for us to get out there and tell them, hey, you can sell and not necessarily pay commission. You can be listed on the MLS, get your massive exposure, and not necessarily pay a commission. Sometimes you get a spur of a commission. That has made our model more popular in the entire country, and since last year, that was actually, for me, it was good news that they came to that outcome of not having to offer compensation on the MLS, because before that, as even if I was a flat fee broker and I was not collecting commissions, sometimes we were under the risk that a seller may not pay a buyer's broker a commission, and we may be liable for that because the association was set up that way. It was a cooperation between the listing broker and the buyer's broker. It was not between the seller and the buyer's broker. It was listing broker to buyer broker. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's always been, really, really incredible to believe that it can cost a seller up to 6% of their sale to, hire realtors and do all of that stuff. For me, coming from where I come, it's a really, it was an impact, So when we created Prime Home Realty Group, it was with the idea of helping actual sellers save money, and we were running programs like the 1% listing or 1.5% listing, trying to get these people to save some money and also handle volume on our end, which requires a lot of work, but a lot of technology, a lot of tools to be able to handle that kind of volume. And that was when a lot of people, at least in our area in Florida, that was not very popular. I'm still not popular amongst realtors. They don't like what we do, even though we give them the opportunity to make money, because we list properties for people that may not do it if they didn't use what they call a discount broker like us, but they now do. They put it on the MLS, and a buyer's agent have the opportunity to make a good commission.
So what do you say to the agents who say, this is the most important transaction of your life, you're taking a giant risk by not using an agent? What's kind of your, perhaps, I'm guessing you have a different opinion per se. What's your take on that?
Yeah, so I'm to be honest with you and with everyone, I'm always clear with the people that contact us about the business model. And sometimes, Steve, I tell them up front, this may not be for you. When I talk to them and I feel that they are not experienced, that they don't know what they are doing, that they are going to have a lot of difficulties, I tell them, please find a broker or a realtor that is going to take you by the hand and walk you through the transaction. But most people are experienced. A lot of people has bought and sold properties who are, looking to do this. They have previously sold a property. So I ask them, and they say, yeah, I've sold, 5 properties. If they are investors, there is no question about their experience. So when a realtor comes and tells them that, they may be on the right path about guiding someone to do the right thing, but many times they are not. So what I tell people, this is not rocket science. There are certain procedures. There is a contract. If you have a contract and you have the opportunity to have it revised by an attorney, I would strongly suggest that. And it's going to be anyway, even if you hire an attorney, it's going to be less expensive than paying, a big compensation to a broker that is going to charge, like tens of thousands of dollars probably. Probably, and that doesn't make sense to me. So for most people, it makes sense to just go ahead and spend a couple of $100 to pay for a consultation. They say, I have another question. I have people that like goes ahead and pay for 4 or 5 consultations, and they still save money. Some people ask me, what is your success rate? And I tell them my success rate is your success rate, because I'm actually not the one that is going to be selling your house. You are the one that is selling your house. If you ask me about my success rate, is 100%, because I list everyone on the MLS and they get the exposure. I insist into this is 3 things that are going to get your house sold: price, presentation, and exposure. If you have those 3 aligned, you are going to succeed. Mostly, like I always say, price is the first one. Price is the most important part of your marketing. You have to price the property correctly. How to price a property correctly? Like checking out the trends. Steve, they have to know what's going on. People has to know what's going on. People has to understand that rates are 7% and may not go down, but go up.